I'm first. Michaela Robertson. Look out.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. Burn away, we feel betrayed.
Did you guys miss me last night? That's wild. All right, here we go.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just
$6,000 water bill.
incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Will Bird. This is the Cold Beer Confessional. I was just reading a story about this. Listen how fucked up this sounds. Or at least it does to me. Maybe this isn't. Maybe I'm the crazy one here. Okay, you guys tell me if I'm the asshole. So there's this historic town. So it's a town that's been there like forever, and they have their own little municipal water company. Now, when they first there's a lot of like historic homes there. When the water company first started there and started putting people on city water or municipal water, the meters were actually inside the house. You know how your water meter's outside your house, your gas meter's outside your house, so they can come and read it without having to like knock on your door and come inside your house? Well, these historic homes on a couple blocks had the meters inside the house. And they had asked the homeowners to upgrade their meters and move the meter outside, okay? That way they can read them outside. They can put newer technology meters in there, more accurate meters, whatever, like their meters. And there wouldn't be a charge for the customers. But some customers didn't want to do that, okay? Because they like the historic meters. They like it being inside. They want to keep their house as historic as possible, okay? They want to keep their house as historic as possible. So the way the water company got them to change their meters was to send them an outrageous water bill. Like the one I read about was $6,000. They went from $30, maybe $50 in the summer when they're watering their yard and shit, to a $6,000 water bill. So then the company, and then they call the water department. They're like, hey, how do we have a $6,000 water bill? And they're like, oh, that meter's probably bad, and we don't have that. Where I have to upgrade the meter. We have to upgrade the meter. We had to put a new one inside. So then they put the new meter in. They dig up your yard, put a new meter in, outdoor meter, the same ones they always use. They put a new water meter in, and they compare the numbers, and they're like, oh, that must have been a bad bill you got, and your water bill's actually $40. The problem is, with this one house, the reason it made like a news story is they hire contractors to come out and do, that's crazy, first of all. Second of all, they hire contractors to do this meter work. And the contractors just install meters. That's all they fucking do. They're technically licensed plumbers, but they just install meters. That's all they do for this county. And they come out to get a meter, but they noticed a drip on one of the pipes that was downstream from the meter. And the contractor didn't want to put the meter in because they didn't want to do a plumbing section to fix that leak. It was just like a drip. It wasn't a $6,000 leak. I know people are going to be like, that's where the $6,000. No, it was just a drip. But they didn't want to be held liable for that. And something about their insurance didn't cover them for residential plumbing. They covered them for putting meters, but not like going on down the line and putting in plumbing. And they also were probably afraid if they fixed one leak, they'd find another one, whatever. So instead, they had to call a regular plumber first. Well, the plumber calls the municipality and says, okay, well, turn off the water. You guys got a water. They still have a water cutoff outside, just no meter. The city said, they said, call the city, tell them to cut off the water. We'll fix the leak and we'll install the meter. We're not their contracted meter installers, but we're allowed to do it. So they called the city. City says, well, we can't get to your meter key, or we can't get to your cutoff. We can't put a key on it. You know those T-handled things you use to like shut off water? They're like, it's damaged or something. And the homeowner's like, well, so that's your problem. Nope. The city says you have to upgrade your water meter. Well, they said you have a $6,000 bill. If you don't want to pay that $6,000 bill, you got to upgrade your water meter because that's what gave you the big bill, even though that's all a lie. Then to get the plumber to come out, to get the city to come out and turn off the water, the plumber wants to come. The city has to turn off the water, but the city says they can't do it. And then the city and the homeowner was just like, well, fine, it's a fucking standstill, I guess. The municipal water system was going to put a $6,000 lien on their home and probably do that every month until they got a plumber to come out, fix the leak, repair them, put in a new meter, and figure out how to get to that cutoff and fix it. That's crazy, dude. That's a scam. Scam artists, huh? Anyways, welcome to the show. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is called Brick Confessional. Last night we weren't here. We did. I went bowling actually. So I went out with my sister. Come down from Kentucky, where she lives now. I just recently moved up there. Her and her husband and her daughter. They all come down. We hung out with them and the boys. Went to the local bowling alley. I bowled a 147. Wasn't great. But the first game I bowled like a freaking, I don't know what was wrong. First game I bowled like a fucking 90. Second game I bowled like a 147. It sucked. But we had fun. They have a robot that delivers the pizza. That was interesting. Like you go to the place and put in your order, then they have like this little robot car that knows where all the lanes are, and it shows up at your lane and starts flashing a light until you turn around and look at it, and it says like lane 6, your order's here on the screen or whatever. And then you take your order off and you push finish and the robot goes back. That was pretty neat. I should have took a video of it. Not a whole lot other than that. It's supposed to storm tomorrow. Now everybody's all anxious about the river now. We had like that storm and it flooded everybody. Now every time there's a storm, everybody's anxious. What else? I put some license plate lights, illumination bulbs in my car because they were out and I've been pulled over twice for them now. So they're all on the up and up. What else? I guess that's about it. Tech bros are melting down. MAGAs are melting down. Everybody's melting down. Elon Musk called Trump voters retarded. Elon Musk called Trump supporters that disagree with him retarded. Not in so many words. Basically, there was a... I'll go find it. Hold on. There was a... I think I retweeted it. Yeah, okay. So what is this account? Autism Capital. He didn't actually come out and call him that, but basically, so Autism Capital puts out a tweet. So everybody's arguing. We talked about this the other day about the H-1B visas, which is for like, it's supposed to be for, a lot of people have been freaking out about just H-1B visas because it's supposed to be for like tech-related jobs and like these higher-end skilled trades. But now people are finding them for like fucking groundskeepers and all kinds of other fucking things that they weren't originally meant to be used for, right? They were meant to be used for these tech jobs that just Americans couldn't do for one reason or another. Where's that meme he shared? Oh, am I too far back? What is today? The 28th? No, it should be here somewhere. Did I miss it? It was a jack. It was a bearded jack with I just showed you the screenshot of it, but I wanted to go read the original because the one that I've got, it's got part of it cut off. Did I miss it? I can't go through Elon Musk's replies because he replied to so many people. I guess so. Hold on. Let's go back to my page then. All right, so here it is. It says, so basically, the right is split into two factions, the tech right and the right. And the tech right is like, hey, we need H-1B visa people to do the jobs. And the right is like, no, you need to hire Americans. And the tech right is like, but you guys are retarded. It's literally what it says on the screen. But you guys are retarded. And Elon Musk says that pretty much sums it up. This was eye-opening. Elon Musk just said the quiet part out loud, that all the Trump supporters are retarded. December 26th is when it's from. Let's see if we can find it again. I wanted to read the rest of it because there's like 2 more lines to it. You can't make this up. I wish you could. I wish you could just be like, this is all made up. We all wake up from a bad dream and Obama's still president. But it doesn't seem like it's going to happen like that. It seems like, and Vivek Ramaswamy is in on it, and Elon Musk is trying to convince people that it's not about legal immigration. When we say America first, when they say America first, I don't think they care. I mean, obviously illegal immigration is an issue, but I think they're talking about all immigration. That's what they've been naming. In fact, so much so that during the presidential primary in 2016, Trump spoke about H-1B visas and said that as a business owner, he's used it, he's abused it, but it's bad for the American worker and it needs to be fixed. That was Donald Trump on the campaign trail in 2015, 2016. Now he's co-signing on Elon Musk, basically saying Elon Musk is correct. This is the way. Here it is. Here's the full post. So basically the right is split up into two factions, tech right and right. The tech right is like, hey, we need H-1B visa people to do the jobs. And the right was like, no, you need to hire Americans. And the tech right is like, but you guys are retarded. And the right is like, well, you don't train us. And the tech right is like, you can't out-train being retarded. And while all this was going on, we learned some people really don't like Indians. And then Elon Musk said that that's basically it. That's basically it. What the fuck, dude? Elon Musk replies, that pretty much sums it up. This was eye-opening. Not to mention he's banning people left and right, people that disagree with him. Hold on, I liked a bunch of shit today just to use for the show. Even if I didn't agree with it, I thought it'd be good. Let me go back to my profile. We got likes over here. Rich MAGA, college education is woke. MAGA, yay, we hate college. Rich MAGA, we have to hire educated foreigners because you motherfuckers are too dumb. MAGA, wait, what? Elon Musk said he was going to fight. He said, why don't you take a step back and fuck your own face? I will fight to the death on this hill about H-1B visas. Steve Bannon come out against Elon Musk.
Up crony capitalism of Elon Musk. And by the way, when we cut him off, he went begging the CCP, and that's why they have the joint venture in Shanghai, the Tesla, which is 100% of his value, right? This guy lives on government contracts and taxpayer subsidies, okay? It's all, we're going to get Joe Allen in here for a second to transform it. Elon Musk, once again, bro.
Steve Bannon said Elon Musk should be deported.
I'm smart enough.
Called him a welfare queen.
To tell you no to your face, and I'm evil enough to be able to expose you as a running dog for the greatest enemy this nation's ever had. You're a war profiteer. You're sleeping with the enemy, brother, and you've been doing it because you're not an American nationalist. You're not even an American. All you are is a globalist, okay? A globalist. And you will go where anybody writes you a check, and you would take it from Adolf Hitler himself, because you're taking it from people that are as bad as Adolf Hitler. The murderous regime of the Chinese Communist Party, which you praised on their 100th anniversary. Let me bring it.
My tolerance for, he also called them subtards. My tolerance for subtards is limited, he says. We can't hire Americans because they're not educated. Educate me. Fuck off. $43 billion seems like a lot of money to spend to stop people from tweeting out this photo. It does. That seems like an ego move, for sure. A little bit. Wait, did he just... So it also come out that Elon Musk, I'm almost positive, is running this Adrian Dittman account. Like, there's some people that saying, oh, it's an advanced AI that models itself off Elon Musk and his son. And there's all these memes about Elon Musk is not Adrian Dittman, blah, blah, blah. Stop saying that, you left, liberal, loony people. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm almost positive it is. And it seems like when he talks too fast, too quickly for this, like this voice modulation, like that's when it comes on. That's when he breaks through. This might get me canceled from Elon. It says, we named at Tesla after Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest engineers ever. He was a penniless immigrant whose inventions led to American dominance in electricity generation and usage. You didn't name Tesla. Mark Tarpenning and Martin Eberhard did. You know, the guys you fucked over to take control of Tesla and claim it as your own. You know, Elon Musk, as part of his purchasing a Tesla, had it written into the agreement that he had to be listed as a founder, even though he wasn't. How fucking weird. We are fortunate to have Elon Musk. Take a moment to imagine where we'd be without him. And then we get this gif. That's a pretty good one. Thank you for the 100 bits. Good boy. Trump backs Musk on foreign skilled workers debate. The Elon crash out has been entertaining to say the least. So this is Elon freaking out on someone. So this person shared a tweet that was later found out to be fake. It wasn't actually an Elon tweet, but he found it on Reddit. It's really popular on Reddit. It's all over Reddit. You can't tell it's fake. So this random person tweets it out, and he says, "This is a lie. Did you make this lie?" They said, "I found it elsewhere. Is it fake? Where did you find this lie?" It was posted on Reddit. My mistake. I didn't realize it was forged. Liar! And then he bans this account. The USA Reject account gets banned for lying about Elon, which is shit that happens all day, every day. Tim Pool says the attacks on Elon and the narrative being built around censorship feels like an op. I'm not falling for it, and neither should you. They have been trying to get Elon and MAGA to go to war for weeks. Fuck that. Basically this fake account, he's tweeting himself. So Elon says, my son, Lil X, loves clinging precariously to my back and yelling monkey rides. And then Elon's burner account says, you're an amazing father, Elon. Your kids are very lucky to have you. But that's him. That's him telling himself that. That's him telling himself that. We've got this, hey, MAGA, this is who Elon and Vivek are replacing you with. You voted for this. Concentration camp for low IQ white Americans. Hold the fuck on. The same Donald Trump who is threatening to take back the Panama Canal from Panama because it's being controlled by the Chinese has asked the Supreme Court to pause the law which would ban TikTok here unless it's sold, thereby allowing the app to continue to be controlled by the Chinese. Yes, absolutely. That's where he draws the line at, okay? You just don't understand it. Oh, shit, did I go too far back? Where the fuck did I go to? Okay, we're back. Sorry, I'm still processing this. You're telling me Elon was using an alt account on a Twitter space with a voice changer, but then got so mad that he stopped using it, exposed himself, and is now banning everyone who made fun of him? Yes. Then we have We have this image. That's a good one. Fight like hell for Iran. Part of the reason I was aggressive as I was with Adrian Elon was to get him agitated so he'd speak faster than his voice modulator could work, and we could make for positive match using some software some friends of mine use for this sort of thing. I can confirm it's Elon. This is probably a troll account, but I thought it was funny. Conservatives are not more productive when things are put in right. Oh, conversations. Never mind. So that was all that. I want to go to this other one that Destiny had, though. It was actually really funny. Destiny actually single-handedly did an investigation to figure out. Is he the one who posted it? To figure out where all the blue check marks are going. So everybody was losing their blue check marks. And Destiny figured out where they were all going. And you should tell your MAGA friends that this is what's going on. This is why, if you speak out against Elon, you're losing your blue check mark, MAGA.
What do you think about Musk removing the blue checkmark for MAGA people, talking shit about his H-1B1 visa idea? Things are already getting spicy in House between Trump supporters. People need to talk honestly about what's going on, and they haven't been giving the full story on what's going on. When Twitter was made private and they started to make blue checkmarks available to people, the thing is that they use, I don't remember what the database is called, but there are only so many entries into this database that can handle blue checkmarked subscribed people. And what they started doing, because Vivek and Elon are both like heads of like this Doge bullshit or whatever, Vivek petitioned Elon. He said, I know a whole bunch of Indians that really want blue check marks on X. And so Elon has started to take away blue check marks from hardworking Americans, and he's just shipping them over basically to Indian people that are applying for verification on X. And I think it's really gross.
So there you go. That's where they're going. They're taking them away from hardworking Trump supporters and actually shipping those blue check marks over to India as part of the new Doge initiative. I didn't believe it until literally I saw it with my own eyes. So there you go. There you go. That's what they're doing with the check marks.
Oh, in terms of how Elon, would you say that Elon is correct in this specific topic? Oh, in terms of hiring Indians versus not, I don't think it's so much that he's correct. I think Elon is right, but I mean, people against him are right too. It's all just like economic stuff. Elon is right in that he wants to hire more talent, and the people that are like, well, we should just invest in our natives more and educate them even more, I can be right too. It's just a matter of like, what are you optimizing for at the end of the day? The analysis is technically correct on both.
The reason it's not that Americans are stupid, Americans can't be trained, Americans can't become engineers, right? First of all, they spent a long time telling the right wing that college is stupid. Literally, Charlie Kirk is arguing over this Indian tech job thing, and he says that no one should go to fucking college. It's not right for anybody. Well, then how are we going to have engineers? The problem is it's much cheaper and more expedient to get Indians here today, right, with H-1B visas, than it is to invest in a system that has engineers the same qualification graduate Americans from America. So it's cheaper. That's the problem. It's cheaper. We're going to end all immigration until we end our differences. What?
By blending the culture of hard work. I will split the difference with Vivek.
Vivek did this really weird post. Vivek made the weirdest fucking post that alludes to 90s sitcoms. Hold on, let's see if we can find it. It's 1,000 bits. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What's 1,000 bits do, chat? I don't even remember. Thank you for the 1,000 bits. Isn't there an animation or something supposed to play? Anybody remember? Oh, it's asshole. Let's see if it's working then. It's connected. Why didn't it go through? I don't know. We might have to check that out in a minute. Oh, never mind. Never mind. It happened. What's the delay for? I'm not an asshole, by the way. I don't think it's fair to say, to be honest with you. So there you go. Those visas also have no way to fight back, unionize, or do anything. Yeah, and they're paying them a lower wage than what you'd have to pay an American-trained engineer for. I guarantee it. And they treat them like shit, too. They know they can bring them here on those visas, and the first time they disagree, the first time they don't want to work overtime, the first time they don't want to be on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, then they're subject to being deported, basically. Let's see. Where is the tweet he made? This is the dumbest fucking argument I've ever heard in my life. It's about culture. I don't think that's it. Spirit we need. Okay, here it is. Listen to this. Listen to this. And think about how fucking dumb this is. This is just an excuse so you can hire Indians, right? Quicker, cheaper, and abuse them more. But here we go. The reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college. It starts young. A culture, listen to his excuses. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. Okay. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World or Zach and Slater over Screech in Saved by the Bell or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. What? What? What a fucking nerd. Fact, I know multiple sets of immigrant parents in the 90s who actively limited how much their kids could watch those TV shows precisely because they promoted mediocrity. And their kids went on to become wildly successful STEM graduates, I bet. All the parents who didn't let their kids watch Saved by the Bell, every one of them's an engineer right now. More movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends, more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chilling, more extracurriculars, less hanging out at the mall. Are you fucking stupid? First of all, who thought that Stefan was better than Steve Urkel? Stefan's only in like 4 or 5 episodes of like 7 seasons. That's a lie. Second of all, you know how fucking anal these kids come out when you push them to their limits all the fucking time? When you tell them that they basically learn that you're only going to be happy with them when they're the champion in straight A's and learn fucking foreign instruments and shit. It's literally a thing that Asian parents or Asian kids hate about their parents and grow up with fucking complexes and shit. It's become a meme online. Anyways. Most normal American parents look skeptically at those kinds of parents. More normal American kids view those kinds of kids with scorn. If you grew up aspiring to normalcy, normalcy is what you will achieve. So give up on like being able to make friends, being able to communicate with people, being able to talk to the opposite sex. None of that matters. I want you to be a human calculator. Now close your eyes and visualize which families you knew in the 90s or even now who raise their kids according to one model versus the other. Be brutally honest. Normalcy doesn't cut it in a hyper-competitive global market for technical talent. And if we pretend like it does, we'll have our asses handed to us by China. This can be our Sputnik moment. So hiring Indians to take all the tech jobs is going to be our Sputnik moment. We've awakened from slumber before, and we can do it again. Trump's election hopefully marks the beginning of a new golden era in America, but only if our culture fully wakes up. A culture that once again prioritizes achievement over normalcy, excellence over mediocrity, nerdiness over conformity, hard work over laziness. We got to make the nerds the athletes, okay? The nerds into the celebrities. That's the work we have cut out for us. Rather than wallowing in victimhood and just wishing or legislating alternative hiring practices into existence, I'm confident we can do it. No, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to legislate in more H-1B visas. That's what the whole argument's about. More visas for foreign specialty workers. You're trying to legislate that. We're not. We're saying, hey, you should hire American. You're doing that. It's weird. Stefan over Steve Urkel. Even Nick Fuentes had this win. Nick Fuentes. All the Groypers are getting banned. Here's Trump in 2016 on H-1B visas.
Well, first of all, I think, and I know the H-1B very well, and it's something that I frankly use, and I shouldn't be allowed to use. We shouldn't have it. Very, very bad for workers. And second of all, I think it's very important to say, well, I'm a businessman, and I have to do what I have to do. And
he has to use it to keep up, but it's very, very bad for American workers. But now he's saying, I agree wholeheartedly with Elon.
Important to say, well, I'm a businessman, and I have to do what I have to do. And it's sitting there waiting for you, but it's very bad. It's very bad for business in terms of...
It's bad in both places. Like, they don't want unskilled workers coming in that fucking do construction or pick vegetables and fruit, right? Which is going to cause that to skyrocket. But they also don't want skilled labor to come in. It's very weird.
To do, and it's sitting there waiting for you, but it's very bad. It's very bad for business in terms of, it's very bad for our workers, and it's unfair for our workers, and we should end it.
It shouldn't exist. We should end, this is Trump in 2016. We should end H-1B visas. Trump in 2024, now that he's sponsored by Tech Bros, I agree wholeheartedly on H-1B visas. We got to get those people in here. We got to get Indians in here to fuel this. Trump supports immigration visas backed by Musk. I have many H-1B visas on my properties. He supports them. Strange, huh? Very strange. Kind of weird now. Seems like he's changed his whole outlook. I don't even know what the fuck this means. At Elon, so Laura Lorman says, Elon Musk has been a Republican for 5 minutes, and now he wants to decide who gets to be a Republican. Elon, you said you were free speech absolutist. If you are, let's please let all ideas flourish, and we will let the best ideas win. Let's embrace free speech absolutism. I'm not a Republican. I'm MAGA. Just as many psychos and extremists as Democrats. And then, just like the right claims the left always tries to do, Elon said anybody that disagreed with him was a racist. You know how they literally say that all the time? Like, oh, you're just going to call me a racist because I disagree with you on immigration. That's what Elon did. Elon called everybody that disagrees with him a racist. And now here we are. He also Trump accidentally sent out a post on Truth Social that he thought he was sending a private message to Elon Musk. because he's
You guys aren't
like
gonna
1,000
believe
years
when I
old.
say this. You may need to be sitting down, but Elon Musk just spent the entire night freaking out on his own app because thousands of people were deliberately spreading misinformation about him. Now, the irony here is insane because this is the exact problem that you and I warned about when he purchased Twitter 2 years back and decided to gut all of the content moderation and turn it into this town square with zero safeguards whatsoever. And yes, free speech is good, but Elon Musk seems to be noticing the limitations of it as well because thousands of users, again, are deliberately spreading disinformation and Musk is trying to censor them. He is the one who's trying to be the arbiter of what you can say and what you can't. Make sure you drop a like to help boost this message. And let's just jump in with this post that Elon Musk.
Oh, I've got new legal stuff coming up. And I got to get a lawyer on Monday. I don't really want to speak on it. We do have a new development in the legal stuff on my side for being mean on the internet. But we're getting a lawyer on Monday, and then I'll know what I can say and what I can't say.
Sent last night at 10:30, and then throughout the night it gets crazier. So he said, the reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of H-1B. Take a big...
Oh, Laura Loomer got a community notes because she was talking about all the places she was banned for speaking the truth about H-1B visas and Indians and how they like shit in the streets or whatever she says. She's super racist. And then she told everybody to go to Buy Me a Coffee to support her work. And then the community notes laid out correctly that Buy Me a Coffee was owned by two Indian CEOs. So
Take a step back and go F yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. So a few things. First of all, he's quoting Tom Cruise from Tropic Thunder, but also this dude is having a little bit of a mental break on X because he realized the monster that he created. Elon Musk made it his personal mission to protect free speech.
Elon Musk, his first company that he developed or whatever was kind of fucked up, and he just sold it to a company trying to rid competition, right?
And ensure the open exchange of ideas, and now he is
Then he bought Tesla and bought out Tesla through some pretty shady practices and then demanded he be named founder.
People on his platform acting like the ultimate arbiter of truth. He's the one deciding that Americans are too dumb to think for themselves. He needs to moderate what they can actually see so they don't see fake stuff. I mean, the irony here is insane, but let's just show you some of this unhinged meltdown. So Evan on Twitter said he's completely unhinged and now personally suspending people who post fake tweets about him, something that happens thousands of times a day. And I want to go through some of these posts.
Right. All these fake tweets are posted all the time. Right, about everybody, and especially Elon Musk, any high-profile person, these fake tweets are posted all the time. This one gets posted, and he has a fucking meltdown. Liar!
But
where'd you find this lie?
Disinformation on Twitter, well, it's always been a problem, but over the past 2 years, the amount of disinformation has accelerated. It's skyrocketed, and Elon Musk has been blind to it the entire time. He's been closing his eyes, saying, I don't care if you're spreading Nazi propaganda, if you're saying that Hitler's speeches sound better in English. This is something that people do on Twitter. They translate Hitler's speeches to English and boost them in the algorithm, and Elon Musk did nothing. But the second that people begin to spread disinformation about him or work against his goals, he has no problem, zero problem banning them. So, somebody posted this. Elon deleted this tweet, and I want to say, this tweet is fake. Somebody posted a fake tweet from Elon Musk. One more time. You can see at the bottom, this image is fabricated, and it's a tweet of Elon Musk saying investing in America is really hard. We won't even read it because it's fake. And
it says it's all over Reddit, but it says investing in Americans is actually hard, really hard. It costs money and time and effort to make a person productive. It's a short-term net loss. It's much easier to bring in skilled workers who might not do quite as good a job, but will work for a fraction of the cost and be happy just to be here. Which is that's the quiet part they're not saying out loud, right? They pay them less, they treat them worse, they get them in here, and they make more money.
a tweet of Elon Musk saying investing in America is really hard. We won't even read it because it's fake. And Elon Musk replied, that is a lie. Do you make this lie? Someone said, I found it elsewhere. Is it fake? He goes, where did you find this lie? Someone said, it was posted on Reddit. My mistake. Elon Musk said, liar. He is freaking out. And then somebody checked back 1 hour later, that account was suspended.
Gone.
This post
out of here.
Suspended account. I'm sorry, Elon Musk. You're about 2 years late to realizing that, yes, people can make up anything and spread it on Twitter. It will get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of likes. And yeah, I mean, okay, to be fair, what Elon Musk is saying in his first tweet, I actually do agree with. He says, hundreds of other companies have been built by people because of H-1B visas. I think his underlying point about immigration is fine, even if it's diametrically opposed.
It's just like, I don't understand why they're all out. It's just like tariffs, right? They're good for a very specific reason at very specific times until we can get our own workforce in a place that can supplement. Like if we need to supplement our workforce, awesome. But if we're talking about replacing our workforce, they just want an unlimited number, as many as they can get to make as much money as they can.
To how he feels about it.
Same thing with tariffs. Tariffs are great to protect like a very specific industry that is crucial to our defense or our nation or a group of people. Or states that'll just collapse. Those are great, but not across the board.
in the US. I mean, yes, H-1B visas are good. And just to back up for 1 second, the good thing about liberals is that we can take a nuanced position and say that there should be a balance between educating American workers, having homegrown workers who innovate and are brilliant engineers, but also taking advantage of brain drain and taking people from the best countries, taking the best people from the best countries across the globe. I mean, there's a balance, but we can actually see that balance and take a nuanced view. The people on Twitter right now are just like, go F yourself, or make sure there's no brown people coming over the border, just insane stuff. And something that had me laughing and giggling last night is that Elon Musk banned all of the
Groypers have been ethnically cleansed from X, and there's all the Groyper accounts.
Nick Fuentes fanboys. Now, the Nick Fuentes people are called Groypers. They're these Nazi freaks. They're genuinely Nazis. Like, they will respond to my tweets just saying, Jewish, are you Jewish? Are you Jewish? And I'm not, but they still respond to that. All of these people got their account suspended. Nick Fuentes quotes, suspended. The Golden Groyper, suspended. Elon Musk is now purging, is now ethnically cleansing all of the Groypers. And it's kind of funny. I mean, ideally, Elon would have done this years ago. He would have had a backbone and taken a stance against the Nazis years ago, but now he's only doing it for the self-serving reason when they're challenging his power. But someone on Twitter posted a picture of Stalin when he was purging people and said, Elon starting to ban Nazis after platforming them for years. And it's one of the pictures where Stalin is then seen without the person next to him after his purges. But I mean, I find this war, this schism, to be hilarious. And just to back up for 1 second, a lot of it is still stemming from this H-1B visa debate. Elon Musk and his whole tech bro coalition think that high-skilled immigrants should be allowed to come to the U.S. because it benefits companies like his.
It's like, I don't know why these people look at Trump, right? You saw what he's done to make money. All the people he's fucked over, the people he hasn't paid, the steps he's taken, the fucking disgusting things he said about the beauty pageants and shit. Or Elon Musk, obviously he's fucking... Why do you think that these people who are fucking billionaires, who have cut every throat they had to get where they're at, are now just like, I just want to be here for the little guy, and we're gonna take America back for Joe the farmer? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They're gonna make themselves money, a ton of money, and they don't give a fuck about you.
And of course, there is validity to that argument. We want the best and the brightest from across the globe, but Elon Musk is doing this because it helps Tesla. He doesn't know how to build a profitable company without taking advantage and exploiting foreign workers.
But they're so skeptical about any other wealthy person. Unless they literally 100% align with Trump, they're so fucking skeptical, right? How long have we heard them bitch about George Soros for literally following the law about how much he can donate to his party of choice? They think everybody's a Soros plant, but Elon Musk comes in and starts fucking planting people, and they're like, hell yeah, let's get rid of them brown people.
And most American workers appreciate a work-life balance more, or at least they're not as willing to be taken advantage of as someone who just moved to America and is chasing the American dream. But I just want you guys to think about this for 1 second. Elon Musk's two positions are diametrically opposed, and when you think about it, you realize
Donald Trump, when he talks about grocery shopping, you can tell he's never been grocery shopping. How the fuck could he possibly relate to anything that's going on in your life when the man's never been shopping for groceries? Like, he doesn't know what the fuck you are, or what you deal with, or what you go through, or what it's like to worry about how high the light bill's going to be this month.
Realize why. So he wants to slash education funding from American citizens. He wants to eliminate the Department of Education and basically hurt our future innovators and engineers, while also promoting high-skill immigration from other countries' best and brightest engineers, which is fine. We want a healthy balance of the two, as I was saying, but you can't gut the education system that produces engineers domestically while simultaneously outsourcing those very jobs, unless you don't care about building a stronger America and you only care about maximizing profit for yourself by hiring people who just moved to America on H-1B visas.
Just the fact that they're trying to tell people, all the MAGA, everybody on the right is telling people that college is for suckers, while literally importing college-educated engineers from other countries. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Very clear what he's trying to do. He's trying to protect his bottom line, even if it hurts other people. And that loops perfectly back to his actions on X over the past 48 hours. It's a reflection of the same mindset, where he's not even interested in fostering open dialogue or empowering Americans to think critically. He wants to control the narrative. And when people begin to challenge him, whether it's on immigration or his free speech policies, he shuts them down. He literally suspended an account for posting fake information about him, which, like, I get, yes, if somebody is spreading disinformation and it gets 90,000 likes, you probably should fact check that, or at some point make sure that people understand what they're seeing is fake, but that is not what Elon Musk has done for years. He has allowed rampant disinformation on this platform.
The argument isn't that former presidents used to go shopping for their own groceries. No one tries to reach out the way Donald Trump does down to every fucking blue-collar worker and say, I'm one of you and I'm here to protect you, and we're going to take care of those rich bureaucrats. They're the enemy. That and the immigrants, for some reason. No one fucking peddles to those people the way that fucking Trump does and pretends.
for years, and he only started to get mad and freak the hell out and say, go fuck yourself, when it started to affect his bottom line. So I mean, the broad takeaway, something that I've been thinking a lot about, is that these people don't have any actual values or guiding principles. They claim to care about free speech when it serves them, but then the second that it stops helping them, they don't care about free speech. They will ban you without thinking twice. They also voted for the No New Wars guy and then cheered after he talked about invading Canada. They also voted for the lower grocery prices guy and cheered when he said
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris both grew up in households that I'm sure they went to the grocery store.
he's going to put tariffs on other countries. They have no actual guiding foundational principles that they adhere to. It's basically just whatever serves them on any given day. Elon Musk proved that to us, right? Drop a like, subscribe. I'll leave it there. I'll make a bunch more videos today. I'll take a break from the Elon drama. It's just very, very interesting to cover the Civil War. Love you guys and peace out.
Damn. MAGA war. Who's this? The Bulwark. I haven't seen
Tim
this.
from the Bulwark. I want to give you one more update on the insane civil war that's been breaking out over Christmas week between the MAGA factions with Elon Musk on one side and Steve Bannon on the other side, and weirdly Nikki Haley being on the Steve Bannon side. And I want to break it all down for you, including in particular this one absolutely insane and disgusting and I think deeply problematic for his standing in MAGA world tweet from Elon Musk. I think he finally might have got over his own skis in a way that's going to cause long-term damage. So I'll break down all of the layers of this. First, subscribe to the feed if you haven't. We really appreciate it. All right. So in yesterday's video, me and Sam Stein kind of talked about how this war breaks down between like the tech bro MAGA that was in on the culture war when it was COVID and trans and other even sillier stuff, but is not on board for immigration. And then the traditional MAGA, the nativist MAGA, on the other side that doesn't like immigration at all. And so obviously these two are going to butt heads eventually, since many of these tech bros are immigrants themselves, like Elon, and immigration is so key to their business model, frankly. So it's kind of shocking that it came to a head before the administration even started, before any policy proposals have been set. I should note that an immigration bill is going to be like the first thing that comes up besides funding the government. So there's going to be a real substantive policy fight here coming in January. So this isn't just Twitter silliness. Like this is going to have a real impact on who has influence in this administration. So that was kind of like the basic breakdown we went over yesterday. Since then, things have escalated significantly, and I want to start by highlighting this tweet from Elon that I referenced in the beginning, which I think is going to cause him major problems. There's a feed called Autism Capital. Is this real? Is it not? There's a blue check. Who knows anymore on Elon's X? But here's what Autism Capital writes. So basically the right split into two factions, tech right and right right. And the tech right is like, hey, we need H-1B visa people to do the jobs. And the right right was like, no, you need to hire Americans. And the tech right is like, but you guys, Americans, are. And the right right is like, well, you don't train us. And the tech right is like, you can't out-train being. And while all of this was going on, we learned some people really don't like Indians. Elon replies to that tweet. That pretty much sums it up. This was eye-opening. So just to be very clear here, Elon Musk is agreeing that his side of the argument, the tech right, is arguing that they can't hire Americans because Americans are the R-slur.
So there's a story about Joe Biden's dad, and I'm pretty sure I had to fact check this before, but so Joe Biden's dad was a decent businessman, like a local businessman. He wasn't like living in like New York City or whatever, but like in Scranton, he was a businessman in Scranton. But then after like World War II or something ended, whatever their business was, it like fell on hard times. And then they had a business, he had a business partner who stole all the money and ran away or whatever. And they were so poor that they had to move in with Joe Biden's mom's family for a while. Yeah, they were actually like in poverty at one point, homeless.
And that you can't train Americans because they're too stupid. That is Elon's stated position as the top advisor and top donor to the America First candidate. Like, this is not sustainable. I should go without saying, I had some people give me feedback on yesterday's video that I didn't say clearly what I think is obvious, which is that Elon is right in this argument. Not that Americans are too stupid, but Elon is correct in the general policy side of things, that it is good for America to bring in smart people from overseas who want to come here and provide value and provide talent. And yeah, we should train Americans, but we should also let 1,000 flowers bloom. And we should be a shining city on the hill. And it's the American tradition. It's both the right thing to do, and it's good for the economy. There are a lot of charts going around I saw on Twitter in this conversation about how like the American population decline that is coming if we don't bring in immigrants, which would cripple the economy, and we wouldn't be able to pay for Social Security and all these other things. So substantively on the policy, Elon is right. The argument he's been making to defend that policy and that Vivek was making is either deeply stupid, that like Americans.
I think he went on to be like a used car salesman and then like a manager, and then he ended up working his way all the way up to owning a car lot, maybe. Is that true?
Can't do the job because of Saved by the Bell, or downright offensive that Americans can't do these jobs because they're the R-slur. So their rationale for their position is offensive, politically stupid, and just wrong. But when it comes to whether like which side of this argument has the better policy, I reluctantly got to hand it to Elon. So this is, again, I think this is going to follow him. Like, this is one of those posts that doesn't just disappear into the ether.
It's pretty bad. There was a post. I don't know if did I retweet it or did I, hold on. So you saw where Tim Pool was basically like sucking dick, right? saying, I think I retweeted it. Let me see. I don't think they'll just let this go. That was me trolling Matt Gaetz. It was a reply to Tim Pool. Maybe I didn't. Or maybe it's down already. It was a reply to Tim Pool. Tim Pool's like, oh, this is an op. They're just trying to drive a wedge. And they're like, no, fuck that. He called American workers retarded, said they couldn't be trained, told us all just to get fucked if we didn't like it, that he was going to do what was best for him and everybody else could get fucked. And then Trump agreed with him, like, we're not going to back down off this. This isn't an op from the left trying to drive a wedge between us. That's not what's going on here. It was actually a really good tweet. Yeah, I don't know. I must have lost it.
People are going to remember if Donald Trump keeps as his top advisor, as shadow president, his right-hand man, somebody that thinks that Americans are too stupid to do tech jobs. Elon then goes on after the natural backlash to this and posts this tweet: the reason I'm in America.
To be fair, there's a lot of things around this. So there definitely has been a movement of telling people not to go to college, even though when you look at statistically about college education and non-college educated, there's a big difference in the amount of money they'll earn over their lifetime. And college has gotten outrageously expensive compared to 30 years ago or whatever. Yeah. A lot of wasted talent that probably should have went to college. Hell, I should have went to fucking college. I'm smart as fuck. I should have went to college. I went into the trades instead and then realized it was fucking destroying my body. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
People who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of others is because of H-1B. Take a big step back and fuck yourself in the face.
There it is.
I will go to war.
Take a big step back and fuck yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. Then he starts banning accounts. Weird.
On this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. Again, he might be right on the policy with regards to H-1B, but this is a losing war within MAGA. All right, this is a losing war. And to say to his new base, like to his new patron, let's just be honest, to his new patron, F yourself in the face, I will go to war on this. That is, good luck with that, Elon. Let's just put it that way. Steve Bannon weighs in on that. He said, someone please notify Child Protective Services need to do a wellness check on this toddler. I don't know if some of you guys want to miss this, go to thebulwark.com. We'll put a link here in the notes. I did an interview with Bannon about a week or two ago when I was at the Turning Point USA event, and he said some alarming things about what's happening with Kash Patel, and we talked about a wide range of things with the future of MAGA. And one thing that, that I just got as part of that conversation is that this was a fight that was coming. The Bannon, this was not an accidental word, I guess is what I'm going to say, that he called him a toddler. That is how Bannon sees him. He said in the past and other videos that he's a Chinese asset, he's a globalist. So a child and a globalist and somebody that is out of step with MAGA. Again, maybe Trump sides with Elon. All right, like who knows? Like Trump is just so, Trump wants to be loved. Like now he's finally getting the attention he's always wanted from the elites. So like who knows? Maybe he tells his base to go pound sand. But I don't think so. The numbers aren't there. Let's just put it that way. The numbers are not on the side of the Doge caucus here when it comes to Republican voters. Then there was the Nikki Haley.
And then Elon acts surprised that a lot of the people on the MAGA side that are replying to him over this have a racist outlook on it. Like they're specifically about like no brown people. What the fuck did you think you were signing up for? The fuck did you think you were signing up for?
Angle. Somebody thinks she's running for president again, I guess. This is maybe the weirdest one. So you have this fight, right, between the tech side that is pro-legal immigration, that wants us to welcome people into the country. And then you have the nativist side, the Bannon side. It's like, no, we need American workers first. We cannot let this. And you have the more racist side, the Nick Fuenteses and people in that world that were out there, and many others are out there saying just flat racist things about Indians. So you got the racist kind of aligned with the quasi-racist nativists. And then on the one side, and on the other side, you have these tech bros that want liberalized immigration policy. You would think that Nikki Haley would side with the tech guys on this. For starters, her parents were high-skilled immigrants that came into the country. I think they're both professors. At least one of them was a professor. So she herself has lived the value of high-skilled immigration, becoming the governor of the state. And she would argue, I would think, we could debate whether she brought value to the country, but she would argue, I think, that as governor of South Carolina, she did. I guess I would have to concede that since I did vote for her in the primary against Donald Trump. Wasn't my first choice, but, beggars can't be choosers. But I think Nikki, having just run a campaign, unlike Elon, and not being in a bubble and having been out there and talked to MAGA voters and seen what MAGA voters want, she's coming in like against the tech side, against the side of the high skilled immigration that has benefited her family so much, and basically saying that we need American workers. There's nothing wrong with American workers or American culture. We should be investing in prioritizing Americans, not foreign workers. She goes on, I've been a conservative my entire life. We shouldn't have these liberal Democrats who are trying to move their own agenda and disguise themselves as conservatives running the administration. Wow. Her son, Nayland, even sent out a tweet about nationalist Nikki. Here's the thing, Nikki.
Dude, I picked tomatoes one time with a bunch of Mexicans here. My buddy's family owns a local tomato. They do strawberries, blackberries. Tomatoes, their big business, though. And we went out there just one day. I think we were working on a truck or something at the farm. And his dad comes over and he's like, hey, we're going to go pick some tomatoes. You guys want to go? And tried to keep up. There's no fucking way I could have done it. And I was in shape. Like, I couldn't keep up with those motherfuckers at all. No way.
So this tells you who has the power in this debate.
I did it for like 3 hours. Done.
It's the nativists, and that Nikki is trying to side with them. Shows you where the energy is in the party, where the voters are, and Elon calling those voters the R word. It's going to cause him problems. And if he really goes to war like he says he's going to, which I'm skeptical of, there's a big battle coming in the next month over immigration, because Stephen Miller and others have been arguing that the Congress needs to push an immigration bill first, even before the Trump tax cuts. Some on the Hill have been trying to combine them together. So this is the fight. It is coming, and Elon has stepped on some brakes in the first battle. All right, guys. Again, subscribe to the feed. We're going to be back on Monday. Podcast schedule is back starting Monday. I'll be here with Bill Kristol. Look forward to seeing y'all then, and we'll be talking soon.
Yeah, Ryan and Cody, Scott's Farms. Yeah, it was bad. They get paid by the little court thing they do. There's no way I could keep up with them. But they did it for the wage they got, and they actually made decent money, I guess. I would have made shit money. I don't even think I would have made minimum wage. I couldn't pick fast enough, but they made decent money. Maybe you just got to be doing it longer. But all the people that complain about it, they're not going to go out there and pick no fucking tomatoes, pick no fucking strawberries. There's no goddamn way. They're just going to bitch about the prices of produce. Even Donald Trump's admitting now that, well, I don't think I can bring down the cost of groceries. That's very complicated. Then why'd you run on it?
I have some unbelievable video to play for you. And I have to tell you, I'm pretty damn proud of what I'm about to play for you. Lone liberal Luke the Bee's Knees Beasley, who started going to Trump rallies for us now, I guess years ago, right? How long has it been? Luke Beasley appeared.
So a bunch of those clips where he's talking to like MAGA people, we used to be under the David Pakman show where he would go to the rallies and interview people.
On the Timcast Earl, that's IRL, the Timcast Earl show. And he decimated 5 Magapotamians who brought the usual specious arguments out. This is when I saw Luke in DC last week, he told me he was going to be doing this, and he seemed very well prepared.
I know a lot of judges. Nobody knows more judges than I do. What is this weird humble brag, Trump? Oh, I do want to show you this. Hold on. So this is the weird True Social post that Trump put out that was actually supposed to be a private message to Elon, where everybody's almost positive. Let me grab a screenshot of it. So Trump makes this public post, okay? And almost everybody's sure it's supposed to be a private message to Elon Musk because this is his True Social, and it says, "Where are you? When are you coming to the center of the universe? Mar-a-Lago." So he's calling Mar-a-Lago the center of the universe. "Bill Gates asked to come tonight. We miss you and X." X is his son. Right, that weird-ass fucking name, son. You can't pronounce none of it. It's all symbols and shit. "We miss you and X. New Year's Eve is going to be amazing, DJT." Now, let's think on the other side here. Okay, let's be a pessimist. How could you justify this was supposed to be a public post on his True Social account? It starts off with, where are you? When are you coming to the center of the universe? When are you coming back to my place? Where are you? When are you coming over again? Bill Gates wants to be here. We miss you and your son. New Year's Eve is going to be awesome. It's 100% was supposed to be a private message, but Donald Trump posted it publicly on his Truth Social. How fucking embarrassing. Anyways, we can go back to watching the video now. I did want to show that before I forgot about it.
You know, one of the great things about going to the White House last week was not only did I get to see Luke and the Dollemores and others, I also met folks like Dean Withers, for example, who I think are just doing such a great job in these confrontational debates. And I said to Dean, and I said to Luke, I don't know if it's that I'm just too old for this crap, but I am too tired to go through the prep that's required to really seriously be prepared for these sorts of situations. They threw everything at Luke. And I'm going to play for you. It's like a media literacy clinic.
And they don't, you don't get the topics, right? They know what they're going to be talking about, and they research it and talk about it all fucking day and have notes on it, and they use Google and shit, but they just throw shit in Luke's face.
I'm going to play for you some of what I think are the key moments. This was 2.5 hours long, if you can believe that. Anyway, let's not even weigh in on that. But
to be fair, if I just had an upset victory and became president of the United States, I would probably think my house was basically the center of the universe at the time. Everybody's in and out. Everybody wants to meet with me. Everybody wants to be here.
Let's dive into it. A couple of different clips here. And one of the things that, well, let me play it first, and then I'll explain what's interesting about this.
It says from,
I think they got bunk beds.
Again, tell me. I think you have a great explanation. I certainly do. I'm wondering, as you've made an argument, if you know what you're talking about. How does that connect my argument? Do you know the difference between various ideologies among the right and the left? You've not been able to define it. I actually know. I would say I'm not a master in the distinguishments between different ideologies within a side. And how can you claim the right is more violent? Oh, how can you claim the left is more violent? Because I know many of these
your feelings and your observations
from my field reporting expertise and my reading of the research.
Well, then what research?
So if we distinguish, say, anarcho-libertarian, anarcho-communism, anarcho-syndicalism, we can talk about tankies, we can talk about social liberals, we can talk about traditional liberals.
Now, what Tim Pool is doing here is totally logically.
It's a Gish Gallop, right? He's gonna be like, I know this group on the left and that group on the left and this group and that group and this group and this group and that group. But then when you bring up something like fucking the extreme racist white nationalists, they'd be like, they're not Republicans. What?
Fallacious. It's fallacious, I should say. Oh boy. It's the day after. Okay. One of the things
Tim's trying to say a bunch of words when he asked Luke, do you know all the different ideologies? No one knows all the different. I mean, there's millions of them, right? Everybody has this little fucking nuance where they're different from this group of people because of this. And a lot of people don't even actually identify with the labels that someone else would put on them. They would say, we're not that. But then he wants to throw out 100 of them so he sounds smart.
He is trying to argue that if Luke can't define terms that Tim has arbitrarily put forward, Luke can't possibly evaluate data that shows that there is far more right-wing political violence in the United States than left-wing political violence. Now, these are two unrelated things. The thing that Tim asked Luke to define was, what's the difference between left-wing collectivism and right-wing collectivism? Luke said, I don't know. I can't define that. But that's a separate issue from crime. And, of course...
Exactly. So saying like, is baseball still America's favorite pastime, right? And we'll define this as being like the most beloved American sport, right? A sport's played in America, most beloved by the American people. And then Tim's like, can you name every pitch that was thrown in the last World Series? No, I don't. I'm not a fucking pitch specialist. Well, then how can you decide whether the data relevant to whether America still enjoys baseball or not? You don't even know the terms. It's stupid.
There is a relatively simple answer to the difference between left and right-wing collectivism, which is that right-wing collectivism is often based in national identity, racial identity, etc., whereas left-wing collectivism is more often based along class lines. That's what I would have said, but it doesn't matter, because we know that when you look at politically motivated violence in the United States, the vast majority of it is right-wing. I would even argue, because they love to pull this game where they say any radical Islamist-based violence is left-wing. Even if you give them that, most of the political violence is still right-wing. But I think if you look at the teachings of radical Islam, how can you argue that that's left-wing? There's nothing left-wing there. You do have the occasional eco-terror.
There's definitely nothing fucking progressive about it. Eco-terrorism would be about the only one. Like fucking people trying to blow up a fucking oil refinery or shut down this, but...
which I think could accurately be branded as left-wing. And we don't want to fall into like a no true Scotsman thing where by definition anyone who commits violence can't be left-wing. No, that's not true. You've got some eco-terrorism occasionally in the United States that we could say that's left-wing. But certainly the white nationalist violence and all of that stuff is overtly right-wing. And I would argue when you are committing violence in the name of a radical literal interpretation of religious doctrine, which you believe should govern civil government, which is what a radical interpretation of Islam would say, that seems fundamentally right-wing and authoritarian and fascistic. So anyway, the game that Tim Pool likes to play is saying, define these terms. And then when the person can't, you go, oh, well, you couldn't possibly just look at the data about crime, when of course you could. These are two completely different things. All right, we move ahead just briefly in this discussion, and this sort of thing just continues.
Read a press release from University of Maryland. I'm asking you to define which groups. I dug, and I could not find any research, even that came from a right-wing institution, that gave over the course of which right-wing institution? I'm saying I couldn't find one. I agree. You can't find a right-wing institution that tracks. Oh, there are right-wing institutions that do studies and stuff. They don't track this. So maybe this is.
So now no one has the data. No one has the data. Right, he's saying like I dug and looked for statistics that say the left is more violent than the right for political motivated violence. And I couldn't find them even from right wing. I'll agree. There's no right wing that records this. I'm the only one that could possibly know it. What?
See what's happening though? You haven't done the research, and so you're saying
apparently you haven't even less than me. Sheesh.
I have 20 years of field reporting on the ground,
and every single time
anecdotal.
Come back to give me substance, bro.
That's what I'm asking. I'm saying I don't get caught up. Especially like let me give you another example. Crime has been going down. I could go find instances of crimes taking place, right?
The FBI lied. The FBI lied about that. That crime is not going down. They actually admitted those statements. Crime didn't go down. It's not even. It actually went up.
Did you know that the FBI revised the crime
2022, not 2023 and 2024? Right. We're seeing a really good trend on that front.
Do you know why? In
2022, it was not a huge revision.
Do you know why homicide is down?
Tell me.
I'm asking you not.
Anyway, so he plays these games where he wants to set the terms. Answer this question, answer that question. And of course, this isn't really how we figure things out and get to reality.
It's like a bunch of kids, dude.
This is a very tough situation to be in for Luke. And he handled it as well as... Also, he's around...
They're going to clip him the fuck out of him out of context, but I went back and watched this full thing as much as I fucking hated it. At least I didn't give Tim Pool the view. But he did a really good job. Even though the clips that were coming out that night before it was published looked really bad, it's because they clipped it in the greatest context for them, right?
Multiple of these people. And Luke is the newest to this of any of these folks and really holding his own. Let's go to another moment from this discussion where Tim Pool starts to get angry. He doesn't like how Luke is handling this, and Tim starts to get very angry.
Specifically cited his speech. My dude, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's fine. I get it. We try to be polite. We try to be nice. But there are so many young liberals who sit here and say, the corporate press told me that these people are bad, and the machine state government has decreed it by pen. So I don't care what crime they committed. I don't care what the jury said. I don't care who was on the jury. Enrique Tarrio, who was not there, should be in prison for 2 decades. Tell me this now. Why is Enrique Tarrio in prison?
Yeah, so they uncovered with him his plot to overthrow the government.
Enrique Tarrio?
Yeah, and his organization.
What plot? Who's they? Give me some prosecutors. Give me some fucking data. Stop squinting at me and saying the prosecutors.
Luke's squinting because Tim's losing his mind. He's coming at this with this indignant, how dare you come in here and say things? Why won't you do dictionary and define every term I give you? Why won't you just tell me I'm right, Luke? This is so triggering. So triggering to Tim.
No, you didn't read it. You didn't read the court papers. All you know is the fascist machine state told you he should be in prison, and you're saying yes to them. Tell me why.
No, I understand that laws on the books have been there for a long time that I agree with. That if it's proven that you had a plan and you wanted to act on it, within days after. The proof?
Say the proof.
By prosecutors. Say it. Communications.
You know, the problem with everything that is being levied here is you could just as easily turn this around on Tim and say, okay, so it sounds like you're essentially saying you don't respect the way that the laws are written. You don't respect the conclusions of a jury within a trial. You're just saying none of it really matters. And so we could turn that around and say...
Until they do. Until it's someone who Tim doesn't like or doesn't agree with politically who gets convicted of something. They say, hey, well, jury's spoken. That's the way it goes.
Okay, so listen, Kyle Rittenhouse's acquittal, I don't agree with the way that the self-defense law is written. I don't agree with the conclusions of the jury. I think the system was biased in his favor. This is sort of the conspiracy loophole or black hole I've talked about before, where evidence for and evidence against or absence of evidence, it all points to the same conclusion because you've predetermined it. And this is, of course, another one of those examples where despite the recorded audio tapes of Enrique Tarrio, the Proud Boy leader, despite prosecutors proving their case, despite everything that happened, Tim just doesn't agree with it. And so the thing that if I were to critique Luke here, I would say, he should have more quickly recognized.
Tim honestly yells at Luke for not reading the court documents. In Tim's head, he even says this, all Enrico Tarrio did was send a message on Parler saying, don't leave. And that's not true. They planned this out for weeks. From the point that Trump said, be there, it's going to be wild on January 6th, they started planning how to create turmoil and how to take over, how to slow down, stop the certification, how to keep Trump in office. But according to Tim, who is yelling at someone for not reading the court documents, All he did was send out a message that said, stay there, guys.
It doesn't matter what he says. It almost, in the 2.5 hours, it almost doesn't matter what Luke says, because what this is really about, it seems to me, is that Tim really didn't like that 20-whatever-year-old Luke Beasley came in and faced down 5 of these people, and all they could do was blow up and yell at him. Let's look at a little bit more of this.
What communications? What did he say? What did he do?
Is this serious?
Are you going to tell me why you think Enrique Tarrio should be in prison for 20 years, or are you going to say the government decreed it?
I just explained to you.
So the government said so. Is that it?
It's usually law enforcement, which I guess is part of the government.
Said so?
Yep. Law enforcement that uncovers evidence of communications, a memo that he
It's sort of like, how does law enforcement work?
crafted and sent to his organization, saying what? That detailed each institution of government that they were going to try to overthrow. Then just days later, his organization is at the Capitol.
Oh, now we're going to Google.
We can even pull up Enrique Tarrio.
He didn't know every definition of every anarcho, liberal, progressive, but now we're going to Google.
All right, so then about a minute goes by, and then it's maybe like the absolute funniest moment where Luke is immediately proven right, and it makes Tim Pool's entire blow-up seem really stupid.
States that's true. Well, now we got a problem. Let's try this again. Let's try a secondary source. Let's see.
Sorry, let me back up because we actually
on Wikipedia
missed it. Tim looks it up, and it's exactly what Luke said.
In the article, so here's a citation. Proud Boy and 3 other members of the far groups were convicted Thursday and applied to attack the Capitol. During Washington, D.C., found Tarrio and 3 lieutenants guilty of seditious conspiracy, carrying dozens of witnesses. Jurors cleared a 5th defendant, Dominic Pizzola, on citizen charge in a civilian mouse in the Justice Department, which is now secured conspiracy, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-oh, it's exactly what Luke said.
They will never stop. Okay, that's interesting. Wikipedia asserts that they did this, but there's actually nothing in the news article that actually states that's true.
Just go read the indictment, dude.
Now we got a problem. Let's try this again. Let's try a secondary source. Let's see. There it is. They introduced evidence that Tarrio discussed with associates a plan to have a large crowd in Washington storm government buildings in a scheme they called 1776 returns, in which the Winter Palace was used as an apparent code for the U.S. Capitol. In a message, he said, make no mistake, we did this, do what must be done, and direct the Proud Boys to do it again. So the question then becomes, in the bigger picture...
So are you going to at all acknowledge that you just blew up over something that I was absolutely citing fairly?
I don't think you cited it fairly.
I don't think you're fair.
I think people should be prosecuted for engaging in plans to overthrow a government. That's kind of
that's a very loose definition of plans to overthrow the government.
Now the terms are too loose, and it's all. Listen, this is really a masterclass from Luke put in a very difficult position. I'm not going to play this entire thing, but here's another.
Luke did really well.
A moment where the topic of the deficit came up, and this is really good.
So you're not hearing me.
The large spike was COVID. I actually don't know if Trump's debt was in any way more egregious than any of the past presidents.
It is. So they do this thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but the way they rank, a lot of times you don't rank a president's spending on the 4 years they're in. The reason why is because they might implement and take action for stuff that happens 10 years down the road. So what they do is they take their policies that they've implemented, the laws they passed, and the actual spending they did, and they take that and run that out. How much is it going to cost in 20, 50 years? And not only was Trump higher with even if you take COVID out of the picture, but he's gonna add more to the deficit over the next 20 years than any of his predecessors.
It looks rather linear.
Yeah, I just think if you, again, since this portrays it in a different visual, Axios Trump Biden debt, should pull it up. Trump does have, he added more to the debt than any president. But again,
this one says he ran up twice
COVID to be
the debt.
I don't know.
Right. That's COVID.
No, exclude. Look, non-COVID.
Oh, I see. You're right. Yeah,
non-COVID. Damn. Thank you for the 100 bits. Non-COVID. Damn it.
COVID relief. Trump is more than double Biden. I don't see Trump's position, and I don't.
Quickly get that off the screen.
Are the animations working?
Leveraged. His idea is that you want to maintain growth above spending, and then it doesn't matter if you're.
But he failed to do that even before COVID. I think we agree.
I don't know. I mean, the economy was doing fairly well, regardless.
But if you look at the
now he's changing that. This is a classic. Now he changes the topic.
Well, the economy was doing well, regardless. But we were talking about deficit spending, right? Well, the economy's doing well, so you don't care. You wouldn't if Donald Trump would have been neck to neck, but the economy would have been good. You wouldn't have said anything about Biden, blowing up the fucking deficit. While he's claiming, Donald Trump ran on paying off the set deficit, right? Donald Trump ran on paying off the deficit in 2016.
Tim, from going from the debt and deficit issue, once that was proven wrong by Luke, Tim just goes, the economy kind of seemed to be doing fine, which is a different argument. That's a modern monetary theory argument, which is even despite deficit spending, if it's on the right stuff, the country and the economy could be doing fine, which I think is an important topic to engage with, but it's one they deny until Luke Beasley shoves it in their face. Really nice job by Luke here. And 2.5 hours, exhausting to deal with these people, but very nicely done. All right, January 1, 2025. we are going to be doing a one-day membership discount special. It will be a
Wasn't that, what was the other one with Jeff B? That was like it was like flyover where they were dropping out ballots. You guys remember that animation? It's like a plane that flew over that dropped ballots off or something. Wasn't that one? Is that still a thing? Oh, do I have it on a button, maybe? Maybe that one doesn't work. Yeah, there's some of them I think I upgraded and they're not here anymore. Because I still got Scott's bus here. I need to go back through and clean these up, don't I? Oh, well. There you go, guys. That's the MAGA civil war that's currently going on. It's great for business, I guess. I don't know. They're idiots, dude. What did they think was going to be happen? What did they think was going to happen? I don't know what this is.
Hey y'all, I am here at America Fest. It's the Turning Point USA year-end MAGA extravaganza. We've got the whole little hallway back over there. If you want to see it, Charlie Kirk is right back there over my head. But what I really want to talk about is this signage that they've got here. It's everywhere. Give Trump his cabinet. I think it's interesting. There was a moment where these CPAC type events were about conservative principles. You know, were about going against the
Trump
Republican
worship.
establishment. Now, this is Sputnik. Now this is for the Republican establishment. It is give Donald Trump everything. We are not going to argue that RFK used to be a Democrat. We're not going to argue that Tulsi is an isolationist. We're not going to push back on. No. The main message here this year at America Fest, give Trump his cabinet. The signage is everywhere. I'm going to be giving you reports from here, talking to some of the other folks on the ground. We'll be seeing you soon. Hey y'all, I am here at
There you go. Trump everything. They're trying to all fall in line. Which, I mean, at least they have been standing up to him on like the debt ceiling and shit. I don't know how he could even... They were fundamentally opposed to raising the debt ceiling. Fundamentally opposed to raising the debt ceiling. And then Trump just wants them to do a fucking 180 on it and push it through with only 2 days left before they go on recess. That was a dumb ask. If you ask me... That was stupid for him to do because it looks like there's some type of plot against him now that he's not in line with the rest of his party, and it was something they couldn't fucking push through with 2 days before recess. It just wasn't happening. You're not going to get enough people to agree on that. It's just so stupid. So stupid. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. We got some stuff coming. What is tomorrow? Sunday? Tomorrow's Sunday. I'll be back in here. I got to get a lawyer on Monday. We had some pretty significant changes in what's going on in the legal stuff. Support the show. We're offline if you can. Greatly appreciate it, especially now that we got litigation hanging over us. I'm excited. I'm excited to go through it. I just don't know what I can say and what I can't say. But it's definitely went past where it was at last time we addressed it. So thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll hop off here for tonight. See y'all tomorrow. You guys have a good night. And support the show offline at coldbeer.fund. We greatly appreciate it, especially while we recover. Got this legal stuff going on. Getting back from the Helene and no fucking jobs right now. But thank you all for joining us. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Love you. See you. Bye.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the fork and balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the fork and balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set.
Yeah, driving me crazy.
Cause you ain't seen none yet.
Imagine you go to the local authorities and you tell them that you need a protective order because you're terrified of someone who is stalking and threatening you and tried to kill you, and the state has to grant it basically just on your statements for temporary. And then after you get it, you spend every day sitting at this person that you're terrified of. You spend every day sitting at the end of their driveway. How is that going to look in court, I wonder?
A retard in a vest climbing up 5G towers, cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped them to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16. High on amphetamine, with Trump in between. Put on a light coat.
Good night, guys. You guys have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait.